So hello everyone, and welcome to the first episode of the C tutorial series. Today we will find out how to install the Visual Studio 2019 IDE and how to create our very first C program. So first, we'll simply look up Visual Studio 2019 and go to the website. Next, we will download Visual Studio. Since we're gonna use this for practice or for practical reasons, we're simply gonna get the free version of Visual Studio, which is Visual Studio 2019 Community Edition. So upon clicking that, your download will begin, and you simply have to save it to a location of your choice. Right after downloading, you're gonna get the Visual Studio installer, which here you can see already have a Visual Studio 2019 Community Edition installed. So what you're gonna come up with is an install button, and you would meet a screen that looks a lot like this one. So as you can see, I have a lot of things checked. It's because I was a bit confused when I first started. But what we would be using would be desktop development with C++. It's got what's needed for our C program to work. So once you've got it installed, you simply have to launch the IDE and we'll start making our first program. So when you first install the IDE, you would be greeted by this screen. In order to create a new project, we simply click on Create a New Project. First we look up Empty Project, and we click on the first one over here. You could tell it's the one because of the two pluses above this little window. So simply click that and click Next. Next you name your project. So I'd like to name this one Episode 1. You could call the project anything you like, but I'm calling this Episode 1 in order to keep track of the future episodes. So save it to a location of your choice, and then click Create. So once you're done creating, you would come up with this screen. What you would want to do is click on Source Files, right click, hover over Add, and click on New Item. Here you'll be able to add stuff like header files or a class or a C++ file. For now we'll stick to the C++ file. Next thing you want to do is rename that file to any name of your liking. So what I want to name it is helloworld.cpp. Afterwards, click on Add. This empty screen is going to be where we're going to be writing our program. Here on the side, you'll be able to see all your files, and over here, you'll be able to see the stuff that's going on. So, first thing we want to do is to include a library. A library gives us access to many functions, commands, basically stuff like that, which could help us create our program. So, in order to make that happen, in order to create the program we want, we need to include two needed libraries. The first one is #include stdio.h, which stands for standard input output.h. Next is #include conio.h, which stands for console input output. Now that we have these two libraries, we could start going on with our program. So every program has a main function. It is the first thing the computer searches for when starting a program. So in order to make that happen, you simply write int main, add some open close parentheses, and click on the open brace. Now that we have created our int main, we have to write some code within the int main. What we want to do right now is to show something on our screens. So in order for that to happen, we write down printf and input hello world. So what we have here is a function. Printf is basically the function, and what it does is that it prints out hello world. Place a semicolon at the end, and we'll test the file. So in order to test this one, either click F5 or press the local Windows debugger up here. As you can see, it's building, and now we're presented with this empty screen. What it does is it prints hello world. We've been able to do what we came here to do. Now, what if I don't want the program to end yet? what if I need a pause? So, in order to make that happen, in order to control the program a bit, we simply add another line and print underscore getch. Now what this does is it simply gets a character. That's why it's called a getch. It gets a character, any character at all, which you input from your keyboard. So to test, let's click F5 or click the local Windows debugger, and you'd come up with this screen. There, you would see Hello World. Now, you're not seeing the additional text because it's being blocked by the getch. The getch function waits for user input before continuing, and that's why we're not continuing right now. So, if you press anything at all, this would come up, and that means your code is finished. So, thank you very much for watching episode 1 of the C tutorial series. In this episode, we were able to find out how to download Visual Studio 2019, install the needed components, and create our first program, the Hello World. We were also able to learn how to include libraries such as the stdio.h and the conio.h, and how to create functions such as the IntMain function. We were also able to come up with how to print code into the console with printf hello world, and how to control the program with getch. So, that's it for this episode. Stay tuned for more episodes, and please leave a like and subscribe if you enjoyed watching. Thank you very much, and I'll see you in the next episode.